Yo guys, welcome back to a brand new video and another episode of my F1 2019 career mode here today, and we are here for round 20 of the season for the Brazilian Grand Prix here at Interlagos. If you guys missed the last episode at USA, then go watch the video guys by clicking the link in the top right hand corner of the screen. It was actually a pretty impressive race, to be honest, and quite surprising how well it worked out, and by far probably my best weekend I've ever had around the US Grand Prix in quite some time, you know, not just in F1 2019 but also F1 2018. So go watch the video guys before we jump into any further spoilers. But for this weekend, we're here in Interlagos and no rain is expected this weekend. Also, in terms of the R&D graph, we have lost a couple of places. We was the fourth quickest team, but as you guys know, we are saving points. We have 6,900 points to our name, and in the process, Racing Point and McLaren have overtaken us as teams that are faster than us. So we've dropped to kind of mid-table range, but the grid is still incredibly close going into the last couple of races of the season, and we're going to invest all of those points at the end of this episode, guys. We're going to invest nearly, hopefully, if my maths is correct, after practice qualifying race, it should be nearly 8,000 points. So yeah guys, tune into the video to see how we spend those. It's going to be, obviously the majority of them are going to be on the aerodynamic upgrade, because we need to protect all of our upgrades going into next season's regulation change. But you know, we might have some points left over possibly, so I'll decide whether I spend them or not, or maybe wait until the next episode with the R&D bonus. But yeah, overall in terms of this weekend, Brazil was pretty decent. The car felt good. Practice went well, not ideal, but it went well, and I'm definitely not as quick as USA. USA was a bit of a weird one. I've never been so quick around there before, and the cars never felt so good. This was a bit more back down to reality, and also the fact that we're now the 6th quickest team. I could definitely feel it. We just lacked a little bit of pace, and it was quite competitive in the midfield, you know, really, really close. And I have often struggled a bit for one lap pace around this circuit compared to my race pace, so we're going to jump to qualifying here, but I think it's going to be a bit more tricky than USA was in terms of getting to Q3 possibly, so we're going to have to work for it, I think, as we jump into Q1. And in this session, we're going to go for 2 runs in this one, and we're going to see how we get on in this session. Straight away, hitting the track here on the soft compound tyres, 12 minutes to go, and we're going to try and do our best. And my first run was actually pretty good. I was very happy with the lap. It was one of my stronger laps of the weekend, my strongest lap actually up until this point, even quicker than my qualifying simulation runs in practice. And Verstappen was currently setting the pace, and even this lap in itself wasn't quick enough to get the job done, which was quite concerning. So you'll see now we do cross the line, and we do get out of the bottom 5, and we're on the bubble in P15, 8 tenths off of Verstappen's time, but it's not enough, and a 107.3 leaves us, you know, vulnerable. So we have to go again and try to improve. And with 4 minutes to go, we are going to go again here and see if we can improve the lap time. So straight away towards turn 1, we're going to brake as the tarmac on the right hand side ends, and commit to turn 1. Really focus on your exit out of turn 2 and turn 3. Important to get the speed on the exit as we open up DRS along the back straight. And now down towards turn 4, looking at the 50-meter board as your reference, brake just before that, down to fourth gear, really try and get the power down as soon as you can. And I got away with a bit of a corner cut there and a track extend, and also a big chunk of oversteer on the exit as we now go up towards the double apex right here, up the hill, up to the pretty much one of the higher parts of the track, and then we brake down towards the hairpin, and then now we start to go downhill once again here. So just taking it nice and easy, trying to use the mechanical grip of the car as we find a little bit of lap time there, 10.5 up as we throw the car into this next hairpin. This one's actually quite a decent one for me. I found about another 10th of a second.
2 laps of fuel remaining.
And now down the hill, as you can see there, through the scene of the Largo, in towards the last major brake zone on the circuit, and now on the power quickly as we go up the hill onto the pit straight. And it's all about using up all of your fuel and ERS here to end the lap strongly as we open up DRS and keep the car to the left hand side for the shortest run to the line. And we are going to improve by about 2 tenths of a second here. Do we get out of 15th? And yes we do. We jump up to 9th place, half a second off the pace, and that is a better lap, and that should hopefully get us through into Q2, and it does indeed as we go through in 10th place. Pierre Gasly there in P7 with a 106.8, and I want you guys to put that in mind that Gasly done a 106.8 in Q1, because Q2 was a funny session for me. Really weird session. You'll see why in a moment's time. But Sebastian Vettel set the pace already with a 107.1. That's 3 tenths off of Gasly's time in Q1, which was quite surprising. My first one in Q2, I got an invalidation. This was on used rubber, one of the sets that I used in Q1. So that was invalidated straight away. I did finish the lap just to get a delta time, a reference. But we went out on fresh rower here, 2.5 minutes to go, and we're going to try our absolute best and give it everything on this lap to see if we can get ourselves into a Q3 position. And straight away, carrying the speed through turn 3, really good exit there. Now flat out through here, of course, opening DRS onto the back straight. And so far we're a fraction up as we go down towards turn 4, braking the 50-meter ball down to 4th gear again, tapping the inside curb quickly on the power. Don't run wide this time, nice and tidy there. Now up the hill once again as we go towards this double right of, I believe, 5 and 6. It's all about letting the car come in for that late apex and really get the power down as much as you can, and then heavy on the brakes again to the hairpin. We just slow it down either with a heavy front lock up, and now into the left again, long left hander, really test the right hand side of the tyres here. And quickly in the power again as we then get quickly back on the brakes, down to first gear for this hairpin. Really focus on your exit here, avoid the bump on the exit, and then go flat out through this long left, through the Cine del Lago, and look for the brake point into the final brake zone just before the 50-metre board. Tap the inside curb, get the power down, use all the curb on the right hand side if you need it. And currently we're 4 tenths down on Lewis, which is not bad at all, and we're a 10th up on my previous
2 minutes remaining in the session. We need a good lap here, or we're out of qualifying.
On my previous invalidated best lap time, but we are going to cross the line to improve by a 10th and a half and go P7 with a 107.1, just a fraction quicker than my lap in Q1. But unfortunately that wasn't enough and we got pushed down to P12. But Peter Gasly there, P13 with a 107.2, and he done a 106.8 in Q1, which would have got him 7th place. So very weird from Gasly there, and not sure what happened, but he should have definitely been in Q3. Instead, we ended up out qualifying him somehow, which I did not expect. And we are going to start the race tomorrow from P12, and Gasly starts from P13. So overall, I'm not complaining. We do manage to out qualify Gasly, who obviously struggled to put a lap together. But in terms of us as a team, it wasn't ideal, and it would have been nice to see Gasly get into Q3 and set a good lap time. But overall, guys, as it for qualifying here at Interlagos, and we're now going to move into the race for the penultimate race of the season for round number 20 for the Brazilian Grand Prix.
As surely as the sun rises in the morning, the Brazilian Grand Prix packs out the grandstands and creates incredible drama. Title deciders, heartbreak, triumph and home glory. All these and more can be found in abundance here at the Autodromo Jose Carlos Pache. It's an unusual anti-clockwise race here at Interlagos, where the Sao Paulo locals are packed into the grandstands at each of the 15 corners around this classic 2.7-mile circuit. 2 very fast sections bookend the famous and highly technical Sector 2, where getting a good run out of Junsao into one of the 2 DRS zones will be the key to any overtaking prospects today. Alongside me once again for coverage of today's race, it's none other than the great Anthony Davidson. Now I want to ask you about Lewis Hamilton. What a season they've had. A well-deserved championship victory, and the pressure now surely off with the title already in the bag.
It really is well-deserved. I wouldn't say it's been a faultless title challenge, but certainly one that has been consistent and well managed. Here's hoping they let off a bit of steam today and give us an exciting race.
Before we begin, let's take a quick look at the grid lineup for today's race. An immense lap from Lewis Hamilton yesterday puts him on pole position, with Charles Leclerc alongside. Considering the rest of the grid, we have Vettel, Bottas, George Russell and Ricciardo, Perez, Magnussen, Raikkonen and Martinez, Gasly, Verstappen, they've taken a grid penalty, Alexander Albon and Kvyat, Giovinazzi, Norris, Romain Grosjean and Lance Stroll, Sainz and Nico Hülkenberg completes the grid. And now it's time to head down to the track.
Right, so here we are then on the grid for the Brazilian Grand Prix, starting from 10th place on the grid, and overall a very positive start to the race already, gaining 2 places by doing absolutely nothing due to penalties, which is fantastic. And we're on the 5th row alongside Kimi Raikkonen here. We've got Gasly P11, I believe, so overall we both gained some places as a consequence of the penalties. And also, in terms of our race, we get the free choice of tyre because we qualified outside the top 10, therefore 10th place on a free tyre choice is fantastic, and we are going to take full advantage of it by starting on the mediums and then going on to the softs. Even though it says hards on screen, there is a glitch around this circuit where the tyre wear isn't accurate on the game, and for some reason it throws you off and tells you to go into the hard tyres when you can easily do a one-stop onto the softs. So yeah, for you guys, for your own career modes, bear that in mind. You can do medium soft or soft medium, whatever you prefer. The one-stop is very achievable here and very easy to pull off. But yeah, we're going to go medium soft here today, so ignore the hard tyre. We won't be running that in this race whatsoever. In terms of fuel, we're running 1 extra lap of fuel. Not much, but also giving myself enough that I can attack and defend with. And yeah, overall, hopefully we can just go forward in this race. We're going to have to probably weather the storm at first on the mediums, because I think most people will be on softs around us. But I think once we get to like lap 6, 7 or 8 maybe, we'll start to really reap the benefits of the medium tyre. So hopefully we can turn it around and score some decent points here today. With that being said, I think the target for me is probably going to be a top 6, top 5 finish. I don't think we've got enough pace for a podium, but we'll try our best and hopefully score some decent points. So let's jump into it and let's see how we get on in the race for round 20 of the season for the Brazilian Grand Prix. Right, here we go then. Let's try and get a good start here at Interlagos as the 5 red lights come on. Lights out and away we go. A little bit of wheel spin there, getting off the line as we make our way down towards turn 1. We've got Verstappen there going to the right hand side of us, making it 3 wide. Warning for a collision there with Max Verstappen as Gasly is going side by side with his former teammate. We hold on to our 10th place though, but presumably, and as expected, everybody running the soft tyres as we go down towards turn 4. Just going to hold the racing line here. Verstappen's not going to dive down the inside, so that's good news for us. We've got Magnussen and Raikkonen side by side though in front of us here as Verstappen is getting a little bit. He's going to look for the outside line, but we're going to just block him off for now. Can we pick up anything into the hairpin here? The AI tend to go quite slow on the brakes. Not quite, unfortunately. Raikkonen and Magnussen being too wide is kind of preventing me from really making any kind of move at the minute, as they're making the track very wide. But Raikkonen does make the move on the racing point and takes P8 as we slot in behind Kevin Magnussen here. But so far, a good start. Medium tyres actually don't feel too bad at the moment, as we get a big run on Magnussen here. He goes defensive into the last corner, if you will. It's not the last official corner, but it's the last corner in terms of, you know, the corners you have to brake. But we're right on Magnussen's gearbox here. I think we could get a move done because we've got a nice little slipstream. We're gaining here on the Dane. We're going to pull to the left-hand side last minute, using up all of our fuel in the RS. Down towards turn 1. Magnussen slightly better on the brakes, of course, being on the soft tyre, but we do get the move done and jump up into the top 9. So good stuff. Verstappen unfortunately also gets past. I was hoping that Verstappen would have got held up a little bit there, but we move nonetheless up to 9th place. Up next, Kimi Raikkonen. Let's try and get within a second and try and be there for when DRS is enabled next lap. Okay, I don't have DRS on Raikkonen, whereas Verstappen will have DRS on me here, so here he comes. I'm not going to fight him, he's much quicker than me. It's a bit of a pointless battle. I'll just try and follow Verstappen if I can, and hopefully he'll drag me up to a Kimi, and he might have some battles with the guys in front, as Gasly behind is battling with Magnussen there, so that's good news for us. So let's just try and follow Verstappen and see if we can use his slipstream. Ricardo and Raikkonen here, side by side they have been for the entire lap. Verstappen's tucked in behind, trying to look for a way through. Meanwhile, Gasly behind has overtaken Magnussen, and he's catching up to the back of me now, which is good for him as well. If he's got a lot of pace, I might let him go because, you know, we want to maximise this race as a team. But for now, we're all stuck in this train of cars, so let's see what happens. Looks like Raikkonen has got the move done though on Ricardo, and Verstappen's quite slow here. We're going to be right on their gearbox. Let's see what the straight line speeds are like as we go into the pit straight. I'm just going to run British mix for now. Don't want to burn all my battery just yet. It is a long race. It's not over yet. It looks like Raikkonen's going to get re-challenged by Ricardo, and Verstappen can't get near enough, even in the Red Bull, which is pretty decent for straight line speed now. As Gasly's joined the queue behind us, so that's 5 cars now in this little queue of cars in the battle for 7th place. Raikkonen and Ricardo again side by side. But still nothing happens, you know, Verstappen's still sitting there waiting. Verstappen's struggling to make any kind of move here as Ricardo and Raikkonen resume their battle. I'm tempted to re-overtake Verstappen if he doesn't get a move on. I really thought he would have got past these guys by now. Let's see what happens down towards turn 4. I'm going to turn the engine up a little bit just to stay close, see if I can pick up any pieces. Looks like it's going to be 3 wide here, this could get ugly. Into turn 4. There is contact, and there's still 3 wide. This is risky. The McLaren gets loose. We're going to slip on the outside. Can we hold it all the way around the outside? Yes, we can. All the way around the outside still. Can we pull it off? Yes, we do. I think Gasly might just slip past as well. Bit of oversteer there, but we do make the move on Kimi. Let's see if we can get past Ricardo now as well. We've got a full ERS battery to deploy, so I fully intend to use it and use Verstappen's slipstream. We seem to have good race pace in the Williams. Even Gasly's got good race pace, so hopefully we can make some moves happen here. Here we go, then let's try and get past this Alfa Romeo. Well, Ricardo's got some serious straight line speed in that car. We're barely gaining. He's got a toe on Verstappen. And look at that, he's actually pulling away. I've literally got no answer to his straight line speed. That's why Ricardo and Raikkonen constantly get battling. Can I get into turn 4? As Raikkonen and Gasly do battle now, further behind. We're Looks like I can't. Ricardo's got some incredible straight line speed, so we're going to have to just wait until the next lap. Close to Ricardo again here. He's definitely not running as hard of an engine mode this time. He's actually harvesting energy. You can see his lights flashing. This is it. It's a good chance for us to get past now. Let's walk past the Alpha. There we go. Personal best. Hopefully we just get the RS from Verstappen just to help me pull away. No, we don't. We just miss out, unfortunately. That's a shame. Let's crack on though. Let's try and get a breakaway on here and try and drop the Alpha. It's been a good lap from us, and I think I might have just broken the 1 second barrier. If not, it's going to be bloody close. But we are stretching Ricardo here. Another personal best.
Check your MFD for a new strategy option.
Here we go. Let's see what this is. It's probably going to be the change to the soft tyre, which is what I mentioned at the start of the race.
Understood. Copy that.
There we go. Onto the soft tyre, lap 22. So strategy change confirmed. Then we have dropped Ricardo out of DRS. So good pace from us. Hopefully Gasly can now make some moves. We're actually keeping Verstappen in our sights here quite nicely. I'm very surprised. Medium tyres working well. We just have to get through those first couple of laps. But like I said, lap 8, you know, that's when it starts to change a bit. So now we've got the advantage. It's a bit of a train in front as well. The two Mercedes cars there holding up a couple of cars. I wonder if someone's going a bit slow because we're really catching up here. And suddenly we're really in this race. I didn't expect it, but we are. With this medium tyre, we've actually got a good chance.
Okay, some information on Perez. They have an issue with their car. They're going to be slow.
Okay, that's good news. He's in front of us. He's in that little pack of cars, which is good. So let's get a head down and get after him. Bottas pits in. He's the first of the big boys to pit. There you go. Up to P7 now, and Perez in front. He's been overtaken by everybody. Here we go, then we're really getting on Perez here. I should be able to just nick DRS. Let's try and get past him, unless he pits, which will make it a lot easier for me. But we are gaining on the racing point. He stays out. So here we go, then let's make the overtake. Seems like nobody else is pitting, so just Bottas out of the big boys as we're going to go around the outside. Bit of debris there on the side of the track. Looks like it could be a Red Bull bit of front wing, from what I can tell. As we get past Perez. Now we've got to stay in front as we go down towards turn 4. And we will do. There we go, job done. Up to P6, and I think one of the Red Bulls has wing damage, that's my guess. Hamilton currently splits the Red Bulls, so we're doing well here. The pace is good, and the AI up front are not really pulling away that much, except for that Ferrari is currently P1. Other than that, it's looking pretty damn good. Hamilton and Verstappen both pit in. I think they both had damage, possibly. They were running very slow. I was catching them quite quickly. Leclerc pits in as well onto the hard tyres. So, yeah, there you go. Quite a few stops already, and we're up to 3rd place. Ricardo's out. Ooh, in the Alpha. That's interesting. No VSCR safety car, though. So, we continue on. Gasly behind us in P4. He's doing well. He's got through the traffic quite nicely. Having said that, Raikkonen's just re-overtaking him, but still, it's good to see that Gasly's following me here. Strong race pace from both of us at the moment. And now George Russell and Sebastian Vettel pit, so we are going to inherit the race lead. Raikkonen and Gasly pit in as well. Running at a strong pace, only a 10th off my personal best with no slipstream or DRS. Very good lap pace. It's important to keep this pace up because from now until lap 22, we're going to be on the more worn out tyres compared to everybody behind. So it's important to maintain a good race pace because everyone behind is going to be quicker. So you don't want to fall away by too much. Therefore, you have to really up your game and stay on top. So I'm going to keep it in standard engine mode now until we pit in. I saved up all my battery for this part of the race. I was running low in the second sector to make sure I was okay. Also, Bottas is on soft tyres, so he's on a 2-stop strategy, so that's why he pit in so early. So Bottas is out of the equation then because he's got to overtake me and he's not going to do that. So it looks like we are going to get 1 more place due to Bottas being on a 2-stop. At the moment, I'm quicker than Charles Leclerc. I'm pulling away. The hard tyre is not a good race tyre. That's why you want to avoid it as Bottas gets past Leclerc. And also, bar Bottas being on soft tyres, everybody's on mediums, and it's a good indicator that no one's going quicker than Leclerc's fastest lap, the one he had before, on fresh mediums. That's a good sign that they're not going at a great pace either. So we're looking very good here. Pace is very consistent. I'm not looking at my tyre wear. I'm matching my sectors every single lap. My pace is uber consistent, and it's really, really good to see. Right, here we go then. We're going to pit in this lap.
Don't forget, box this lap.
I'll flash it up on screen. My pace since lap 15, which is when I said we had to pick up the pace, has been sublime. Really, really sublime. This is one of the most consistent stints I've ever had. But we are going to pit in now. Here we go. Get it all slowed down, and there we go. A nice cautious entry. We don't need to push too much. I think that was a very good stint. We could spring a surprise here and maybe rejoin a bit further up the grid than what we thought. Let's see though. Let's see if that's true or not. I think we might have had a bit of a surprise.
race. Release.
And there go the 2 Red Bulls. Can we get in behind the 2 Red Bulls possibly?
Look after these tyres now. We want to finish the race on this compound.
There we are. We've jumped Hamilton. So for whatever reason, I noticed before he pit on the last time, I noticed he was going a bit slow. I wonder if he's got damage or car problems. Either way, we're rejoined in front of Lewis in a net P6. Both Red Bulls in front, both on hard tyres. We've got a chance here to really pick up some good points and much better points than I expected. That first stint was up there, one of the best first stints I've ever had, and I think we can actually win this race now with this tyre. I really think we could, because Bottas will have to pit in again, so ignore him being out front. Look at the first Ferrari, that's where we got aim for, and I think we can pull that off. I think that's achievable. Bottas pits, there we go. It's up to P5. As the Red Bulls in front start to battle. Also, Pierre Gasly's in P7. He's having a very strong race as well. Currently battling with Raikkonen still. Here we go then, we're going to get DRS on the Red Bulls. On for a personal best. I haven't turned the engine up completely because I know I can get the purple lap, but I want to pass the Red Bulls first. So we're going to try and time this as Verstappen goes for the rear overtake on his teammate George Russell. Personal best 109.5. Let's see if we can make an overtake happen here as these two continue to go side by side. We're going to really close up. Hopefully in the next lap we can really get the run up the hill and pass them both. That would be ideal. We're really starting to gain now. Okay, so we're tucked in behind the Red Bulls here. I've managed to charge up my entire battery and get plenty of fuel on side. Now it's time to strike and make things happen. Here we go, let's turn the engine up. Looks like Verstappen isn't committed to a particularly high engine mode at the moment, so he's going to be quite vulnerable here. We are going to go to the right hand side to pass him because there's not much room on the left. We're going to use a slipstream from Russell to get in front. And there we go, job done. Now let's try and get past George Russell down towards turn 4. Good exit. Flat out through 3 of course. Now DRS, we are a little bit far back here. Might have to rely on a bit of a late braking manoeuvre. Right on the outside of the Brit. Russell scrubs up a little bit mid-corner there, but we do get past. Let's push on here, let's secure the fast lap of the race. Currently P3 here, on for a podium. Sebastian Vettel just up the road. We can win this. There we go. 1 minute 9.0. Purple lap. Hopefully we'll keep that for the rest of the race. Let's push on though and get after Sebastian. I've just realised Gasly further behind has dropped back quite a bit. I do wonder if he maybe got damage in his battle with Raikkonen, because he's dropped back massively, and dare I say he may not score points now, which is a real shame. So hopefully he still manages to somehow. Okay, we're finally within Sebastian Vettel's DRS range, I think. I don't have much more pace than him, unfortunately. The softs are just starting to fade a bit, so I'm not convinced we can make this happen, unfortunately. I'll try my best, but the softs don't have much more in the tank. Also, Vettel's pace is very good on the hard tyre. Okay, I'm within range, but I'm going to charge up the battery and save some fuel as well while I'm behind him. I'm going to hopefully pass him in 1 or 2 laps because I don't have much more pace in the tank, so I'd rather just sit behind and time the overtake correctly and hopefully pull away definitively like I did with the Red Bulls. So we're just going to sit in behind and pick up the DRS every single lap for now. Okay, we're going to go for the pass on Sebastian Vettel this time. I've got plenty of fuel saved up and a full battery. Also, we are snooping up to the back of Leclerc here. So let's get past the Ferrari. Engine turn up. Let's get this one done into turn 1. Here we go. Seems like Vettel's running a higher engine mode here. He is defending, he's got good straight line speed, but we are going to commit to the inside. Vettel tries to go around the outside, but there's no use. We've got too much grip on these, and we're going to just walk past. And there we go, see you later. Second place for us. Can we get a win? 4 laps to go. We're going to have to work for it. Leclerc's quite far away, but we can give it a go.
There's 3 laps of fuel remaining.
Oh, there we go. Completely didn't see that, but fast lap of the race, even faster still. These soft tyres are holding on quite nicely. We are catching Leclerc. Will it be enough? It's going to be very close. I've got to keep this pace up every single lap. I'm trying my hardest. I'm giving it everything. But we are going to run out of laps, unfortunately. Gap 1.7. It hasn't really moved that much in the last 2 laps, to be honest. As we go out the final corner then. On the power 1 last time, up the hill. And it is going to be, though, a phenomenal P2 in this race. And I will not complain about that one bit. Very strong race as we cross the first checker flag and take 18 points in the Brazilian Grand Prix.
Okay, good job, mate. Really well done. That was a fantastic drive.
Ferrari have really pulled it out of the bag today. It's a great win. Anthony Davidson, how do you think they were able to set themselves apart today?
Well, I honestly feel it was down to the driver and car today. I mean, we can talk driver skill all day, but if you don't have a solid team to back that, you're never going to get anywhere. When you hit that sweet spot of having both an excellent driver and an incredible car, that's when you see results like those we witnessed today.
Ferrari are at it again, an excellent performance at today's Grand Prix, and they're certainly a team that know what they're doing out there.
Right, so looking at the final race results, Charles Leclerc wins the Brazilian Grand Prix. We come home P2 and also pick up the extra point for the first lap of the race in second place. Fantastic recovery, and I didn't expect the podium really. The race pace was really, really strong. The strategy was on point, and that stint on the medium tyre was absolutely phenomenal. Sebastian Vettel P3 making it a 1-3 for the Prancing Horses. George Russell P4 ahead of Max Verstappen. Surprising result there, and Russell beating his teammate. Very impressive stuff. Lewis Hamilton P6 with car issues, and Valtteri Bottas P7. Then we've got Kimi Raikkonen 8th, Albon 9th, and Sainz in P10, and then Giovinazzi, Kvyat, Gasly all missing out the points. Gasly, I'm guessing, had some kind of car issues because he was running comfortably, in P8, battling with Raikkonen there, so not sure what happened. Then we've got Magnussen, Hulkenberg, Norris, Stroll, Grosjean, and then Perez and Ricciardo retiring from the Grand Prix here today. Perez, I believe, retired on the last lap, just as we cross the line, so yeah. Overall, 2 retirements here today. In terms of the standings, though, in the Drivers' Championship, we dropped down to 6th place as Leclerc re-overtakes us with that win, but look at the table. Us, Leclerc, Vettel, Bottas, and even Verstappen going into the last race, it's all to play for. 14 points cover 2nd to 6th in the Drivers' Championship. If we turn up and we perform in Abu Dhabi, we could finish in the top 3 definitely, without a doubt. So it's looking good. Hopefully we can make that happen. I'll be very, very happy if we do, and that'd be an incredible second half of the season and a fantastic turnaround, really, considering where it was at the start of the season. But in terms of the constructors, if we scroll over, you'll see that we're currently in 4th place, and that's pretty much nailed on. Mercedes have now officially won the Constructors' Championship. Ferrari are 2nd. Red Bull have also officially going to finish in 3rd place. They cannot get 2nd place, so the top 4, or even the top 5 actually, are pretty much going to finish there, and then it's a battle at the midfield to see what happens elsewhere. But guys, that is it for the race here at Brazil. We're now going to move into the laptop though and put on some upgrades. So let's jump into it and let's see what we can do.
You gained a lot of positions during the race, didn't you? You must be thrilled to be up on the podium. Your team must be ecstatic with how you're performing. It wasn't the cleanest race today, was it? Appreciate your time.
Okay, so first of all, I accidentally skipped the replay cams. My button slipped and, or my finger slipped on the button, and I meant to go down to view replay. Instead, I pressed advanced, so I apologise. There'll be no replay cams in the video. I'll mention that beforehand. But either way, it's time to upgrade, and we've got 8,000 points to spend. We've got a hell of a lot of points, and we're going to invest them all in the aero and protect everything here for next season's regulation change. More importantly, we're going to focus on the heavy upgrades, the expensive ones, so we're going to protect those straight away because they're going to be big performance gainers for next season. So we're going to cover out all the major and ultimate ones first of all, which is going to take a big chunk of our points away. So let's cover those up, and there we go. Now we've got 4,700 points to spend, all on minor ones. So let's start by purchasing all of these. I don't mind spending all my points in this because I'm going to get an end of season bonus after Abu Dhabi, so let's just make sure we protect all of this. So we're going to keep buying all of these and make sure they're all protected for next season. So let's keep going. So many things to protect here, but there we go. Only got 3 to go now. We should have enough actually to cover them. So we're going to go there, and yeah, we should have enough. So there we go. Surprisingly, I had more points than I thought. So we've protected everything for next season, which is fantastic. So we haven't got to worry about that. That's good news already. That's a massive positive for next season. And we already have 1,467 points. So what we're going to do is we're going to just save those points, and we're going to focus on next season. So what we're going to do is we're just going to sit there, keep those points, and in the next episode, once we get the end of season bonus, we'll add that on all together, and we'll make some big improvements to the engine and the chassis, and also a couple of durability ones as well, just to make sure I can get the power unit to last an entire season. And those will be our upgrades going into season 3. So guys, if you enjoyed the video, drop a like, and also get subscribed if you are new for daily Formula 1 content. Let me know in the comments down below if you enjoyed that race, and also if you're excited for season 3, and also for the finale as well. Could be an exciting race. And yeah guys, also if you aren't subscribed to the channel and you're new, or you're a current subscriber, turn notifications and click the little bell icon so you don't miss out on any future uploads. And also finally check out these 2 videos on your screen if you have missed them. But other than that guys, thank you for watching this episode of Career Mode, and I'll see you in my next one very soon. But until then, it's goodbye from me.